Welcome, everyone, to Pen to Paper. I'm so glad you're here and you've made it. I'm Leah Lindeman, the author of the Canadian Reminiscence series, and every week I offer writing tips, writing advice, writing inspiration, anything to do with the writing author life. And today is actually a request from last week's topic that we talked about, which was writing community, how to find your writing community, why writing community is so important. And we're just going to kind of flesh out and detail a little bit more certain terms that you've probably heard if you're a writer. And maybe you might even be an author and you just haven't even used these people, or you've heard these terms and you're just not too sure what they do and why they're so important. So let's talk about it today. We're going to flesh out critique partners. We're going to look at alpha readers, and we're going to look at beta readers. So why are they important? Well, I'm going to share why they're important to me. These readers, I think I mentioned last week actually that I had this reel on Instagram where my pug had his head stuck in a goldfish bag, and he just thought it smelled so wonderful and he just wanted to stay there. And then when you take the bag out, it's like, oh, whoops, there's actually quite a few problems or mistakes in the material. So, basically, it's to help keep us. It kind of goes with the accountability theme that I talked about last week. And oh, I've got an intruder here for a second. And anyways, all good now. So, yes, going on that theme of community and vulnerability, because I'm going to flesh out how vulnerable can you expect to be with certain readers and why they're important. Okay, let's go into critique partners. Okay, critique partners are basically other writers. And what they do is they go over your work line by line, chapter by chapter, and they jot down notes of what isn't working, plot inconsistencies, character development that isn't flowing very well. Maybe there's awkward wording. But what's great about critique partners, it's not just anybody reading it, it's another writer who understands the craft of writing as you do, but is able to take a look at it with a set of fresh eyes. So that is what critique partners, why they're important. And that's what they do. And why another reason why they're important is because overall, you help keep each other accountable so you can read their pieces and they can read your pieces. Usually it's kind of an exchange of sorts. So you give them your manuscript and they give you their manuscript. And then also overall, when you hear feedback from another writer, it helps your writing to become stronger overall as time progresses. So that is what a critique partner does and why they are so important. Where do you find critique partners? Well, last week I talked about writing community. So if you have a writers group, if you know other writers and you think that you would be willing or interested in reading what they have to write and they would feel the same about you, that's what you do. You swap your manuscripts and you critique each other. What's important about critiquing? Make sure that you're critiquing strengths, not just weaknesses. And you are giving very specific feedback, not, I don't think it's good. I just not feeling it. Well, why aren't you feeling it? You have to give specifics because this is overall a more technical fleshing out and realizing what's wrong with your manuscript. It's not just coming from a reader who maybe is a mood reader. This is not something that's supposed to be moody. It's supposed to be technical, which is going to amplify your writing and it's going to amplify their writing. So that's what a critique partner does. Now let's talk about alpha readers. Alpha readers, I think I mentioned last week as well about writing on platforms like Wattpad and other such sites where you kind of write chapter by chapter, almost like serialized fiction back in the Victorian times, where a chapter came out a week, or I don't know how often they did. I'd have to check that detail, but they either came out, Whenever the next issue of the magazine came out, that's when the next chapter of the book came out. And that's kind of what it is your alpha readers read as you are writing it. Now, you probably are thinking, I don't want anybody to look at my stuff because it's really bad. First drafts are always terrible. I get it. I would feel super vulnerable as well. If you don't like that idea so much, it's not a bad idea. You would just have to be willing to hear what's wrong with your work, especially when you're in the flow of writing it and you think it's like the best thing you've ever written and you have all these grand dreams about it. You got to be willing and kind of set your mindset that mm, not only are you going to see issues with it down the road, but other people are going to see issues with it. It helps you catch things sooner instead of wasting time thinking that this plot factor is going to work out for you, but really it doesn't. Alpha readers are just kind of good at catching those things early because they're like, well, that really wouldn't work in this genre. So maybe rethink this. That's what they do. They're kind of like the really, really big, overlooking this works, this doesn't work. Oh, I just realized I got some comments. Oh, hello. Nice to have you here with us. Um, so that's what alpha readers do. Now, what else did I want to say about alpha readers? Oh, yes. Okay. If you don't like the idea of them reading, your chapter by chapter, that's something sacred to you, like first draft, that's it. You can maybe write your first draft, do a very basic edit, and then give them the second draft. Or alpha readers could also be just readers, people that you bounce off your ideas off of. So basically, they're your sounding boards. If you're having issues with plot and you're trying to figure things out, well, talk to a bunch of writers, talk to a bunch of readers who just love gobbling up stories. And, if this is the genre that they enjoy and they're interested in what you have to say and they want to help you craft your story, well, then take the time to share your ideas and see which ones land, which ones don't land. That's another way you can do alpha readers too. But basically, you're not keeping your ideas to yourself. You're letting them out via communication or via your writing, actually writing out what you're going to, what your work is, and then they read it. So there's a variety of ways you can do it depending on how vulnerable you want to be. But I could see how, and I hope you can see how it is a very vulnerable state. But that is what alpha readers do. Next and last, we have beta readers. So beta readers come in definitely later on in the process. We usually have, your first draft, that's your alpha readers reading it. And then you have drafts in between where maybe you want another writer to read it, and that would be your critique partner. And you swap your manuscript, and it's more technical. Later comes in your beta readers. Usually I bring in my beta readers before the last edit or the last two edits. My last two edits are more technical itself. So, I'm doing line editing or I'm doing proofreading. That's beta readers can come in before that, and they give you that market reader reaction. So let's say you're writing a romance novel and you are looking for beta readers who love to read romance. Well, they can kind of give you a feel of whether this is a romance that people want to read about. And you can ask them, did the romance work for you? And if it didn't, why didn't it? Why didn't it? it. What are some factors that need to be reworked? Uh, and when you are asking beta readers to read your work, you need to be specific about what your expectations are. You're probably on a deadline, so let them know that you have a deadline. Let them know that, can you please read this book in a month and give me your feedback? Or, whatever your deadline is. And then tell them specifically what you want to know. Does this character do this enough? Is the romance appealing? The trope that I'm using, is it too vague, or is it, not vague, but yeah, is it too vague, or is it special enough for this story that it makes the story work? Right? Those are some questions that you want your beta readers to ask, but basically they're the polished finished draft reading, and then you might have 1 or 2 edits before it's complete, final, and ready to deliver to the mass audiences. So I hope that defining critique partner, alpha reader, and beta reader was helpful to you. If you have any questions, you can always ask questions anytime that I'm doing my lives. This is why I decided to do my live training, because I thought, well, if ever there's a question on the spot that people want answered, then I can answer it. But I hope that I fleshed this out enough. So something for you to do. If you are enjoying these live trainings, can you please like these videos, comment something that you enjoy about them, and subscribe. If you're listening to this as a podcast, then please follow the podcast Pen to Paper. And I have a child that just that just interrupted because I completely forgot to lock the door. Note for next time. Not right now. So, okay, give me 5 minutes, please. All right. So I'm going to leave it there, guys, because I need to scramble out of here. I have some kids to take care of. I hope that this has been helpful to you. And if you have a comment, why don't you comment down below? Maybe a fun story about an alpha reader, beta reader, or critique partner. And I know that I just had a couple beta readers read my last novella, and it was incredibly helpful. They both caught similar things that needed to be worked on. I always find it invaluable. And for alpha readers, I do myself a lot of soundboarding and talking with my writer about my stories, and critique partners. Well, I do have one writer friend where we do read each other's work a lot and love to share what we love about it and what needs work. So I'm going to let you guys go now, but I hope you have a great week and weekend. And you know what? Next time I come to you, I'm going to be coming to you from the sun and the beach. And you'll be, maybe that will bring a little bit of sun to you. So see you then.